Hey, football fans, this is Gary Greene in Las Vegas, longtime sports bettor and sports handicapper for the past 35 years. And we got a real doozy here for our Thursday game of the week for week number 7 in the NFL. We have the Denver Broncos traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. And there's been a lot of money played on this game already. And this on paper really would look at it as a very bad game for this card this weekend. But the situation is what it is. And the Denver Broncos do come in off a loss to the LA Chargers. But, going into last week's game against the Chargers, I really was high on this Denver defense. I love the young cornerbacks in the secondary. I thought was playing fantastic. It seemed like the offense was on track a little bit, but they're a dink and dunk offense, so they have to do extra hard work to get touchdowns and get points on the board. This Denver Broncos team, they're going to live and die really with the defense. The problem I have with Denver is the head coach is supposed to be so great and scripted plays ahead of time. This team doesn't score anything in the first half. They just throw up almost goose eggs week after week after week. You can't win in this league like that. Now they're going to take on a New Orleans Saints team. I've been watching game tapes, and I've been watching them for the last 8 years or so with two ex coaches, one from the NFL and one from college. And what I saw on this tape was just unbelievable by the New Orleans Saints defense. I think they missed 17 tackles. I stopped counting at 10. It was so bad. I have never remember witnessing a game where guys it just looked like a pinball game, just right into them and right off of them. Tampa Bay finished with 594 total yards. And, we hear the player for the Jaguars saying his team quit. I don't even think they quit. I just think they are the worst defense in the league. And to make matters worse, I've been doing a column for years on tired leg, and I focus it more on the college than the NFL. But if we look at these teams, New Orleans Saints defense, the last 2 weeks, and this is a short week game, just a few days rest. Luckily for them, they're at home. But they have been on the field in the last two games, 74 minutes on defense, only 46 minutes on offense. That shit catches up to you, folks. Trust me when I tell you that tired leg system of winning after you get later and later into the season. We're 6 weeks in now. We're not 2 weeks in. Injuries start to pile up. Obviously, the quarterback situation for the New Orleans Saints is what it is. But I thought Spencer Rattler played pretty well for his first game out for the Saints. So it's not a disaster there. He showed enough to me that he has some talent. They were just swarming, and the offensive line is terrible too for the Saints. They were just going right in and killing this kid. 594 yards, though. They've given up 26, 26, and 51, and that doesn't bode well going into a short week of games. Now, a little bit of the same situation for Denver because their last 2 weeks, they've been on the field more than the opponent as well, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. They played 75 and 65 plays. As far as the Tampa Bay goes, they've been on the field on defense 152 total plays the last 2 weeks, and it's just partly the reason why they're tackling bad, especially in the second half, is they are tired, but they're fundamentally the worst tackling team that I've witnessed in the NFL in probably a decade, and I just don't think you just pick it up and turn it around overnight. They're very lucky they're getting a dink and dunk team in the Denver Broncos on offense coming in here, but we have a situation where the sharp guys early on went right in and they started firing on the Denver Broncos. And if we look at the Denver Broncos game as a whole last week, at the end of the first half, they had given up a little over 250 yards, their worst half of defense all year. It was really bad. But then you look at the second half, and they allowed only 93 total yards in the second half to the LA Chargers. And that gave the offense an opportunity to win the game. They didn't end up winning the game. They came back. They at least made it a decent game overall. But this is a situation, the total now, again, the line 2, and the total was 37. If it was anybody but the Denver Broncos with this offense, a couple other ones, the Cleveland Browns offense is actually maybe the worst I've seen in a decade, too. They haven't even gotten 300 total yards in a game yet. And we'll get to them in another video this week. They're going to be my stock down offense of the week. I usually do team of the week, but they'll be my stock down offense. So don't miss that video as I rip into them. But this is a game where the total 37, if they were playing anybody that's clicking on all cylinders on offense, this would have been the easiest game of the week to go against, because I would expect that the Saints defense might give up 50 points again. So this is a really bad game. And the key thing that I think that you have to remember as a bettor, and I know most bettors, 90% of my friends are like that. I film my house here. We have 7 TVs, and everybody comes over, and I have friends, they have to bet on everything. Every Thursday game, Friday game, Monday game, standalone games, every baseball playoff game, they just have a winner. Somehow they handicapped in, because they have to have action. You don't have to have action. This is, to me, a bad game. I won't be on this game. I don't play Thursday and Monday games just because they're being played. If the game was on Thursday or Monday, if it was played on Sunday, would I have played it? Because if I wouldn't have played it on Sunday, I shouldn't be playing it on Thursday or Monday either. So take that into account. But again, I'd have to lean to the Denver side just because the defense has been so much better. And with the tired legs, not as bad a situation, but again, the situation for Denver, they've been on the field for 140 plays themselves. So these two defenses combined the last 2 weeks on the field, 292 total plays. And, I think you might end up getting a very sloppy game on Thursday night. So be careful with this one. Again, you've been listening to Gary Greene, and Gary wins. Have a great week ahead.